Thought tonight was a good step in the right direction. I was really impressed watching Alabama State's film. An NCAA tournament team last season. They play a tough style to play against because they throw so much at you between the press and the zone and the switching, and they didn't show it all tonight, but watching the film from last season, they threw a 1-3-1 and a run and jump, and they're a well-coached team. So preparing for this game was fun because it reminded me a little bit of the way we want to play. We want to junk up the game a little bit. We want to get after teams defensively. Then we want to obviously play fast and shoot a lot of good shots, which I think Alabama State has done in their league. And so kudos to them. I'm interested to follow it. I didn't know this coach going into the game, but after watching film, I told him before the game I'm really impressed by what they do. I thought our guys competed. The second half was better than the first. I lit them up a little bit at halftime, just because I felt like outside of the last few minutes of the half, they outcompeted us. And I don't care that we were up 16. I thought it was a poor half of basketball. And I thought we were hesitating offensively. Their zone got us on the heels a little bit. We were turning down good looks, which resulted in poor looks. And that's not the brand of basketball we want to play. And to their credit, our players responded. I thought that was a great half, a great second half of basketball where we did a good job on defense, creating great looks on offense, and our defense can fuel our offense. Once we get out and run, it's going to be really hard to stop us.
Questions, please?
Did you feel like at the half that they knew that they didn't compete to the level you expect them to?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they knew or not. I hope they did, but I went in there pretty quick and got feisty, and so it was fun for me. I thought I coached a poor half of basketball in the first half. I was pretty hot at some of the officiating that I thought there were 50-50 calls that were ending their way, but looking back, it probably wasn't poor officiating. I was just generally running hot tonight. And I felt like my lack of composure probably hurt us a little bit. I got to be better, and I had to sit down a few more times in the second half to calm myself down. Our staff did a great job. One of them came up to me and said, "You're officially a college coach now. You're losing your mind on the sidelines a little bit." So I thought, I don't know if that's an honor or a diss, but I took it and I sat my behind down and calmed down. But these halves are going to happen, and especially the style we play can be chaotic, and there can be huge stretches on both sides, both for the opponent and ourselves. Obviously, you want to limit their stretches and push ours to the max, but I just want to treat all these games, especially against lower level opponents, in preparation for the big games. And that's our whole non-conference schedule, is preparing for our conference schedule, both against the great opponents and the lower opponents. And I felt like the first half we didn't do that.
I think like 20 of your first 30 shots were threes, and I know you want a lot of threes, but were they good looks, or were you not happy with some of them?
I'd have to watch the film. I didn't realize 20 out of the first 30 because I actually thought we turned down a lot of great looks, and that's probably why we ended up just shooting an average to below average percentage in the first half from three. But when you turn down shots that are created, generally, I would say 90% of the time you end up with a worse look, and that's what I was on our guys for, is they were turning down great looks and hesitating because the team was in a zone. Man, zone, doesn't matter in between. If you create an open look, you have to take it, or you're not going to be able to play for me. And I told Chauncey and Cam, tonight they didn't shoot it well. I don't care if they're 0 for 100. The next one you got to believe is going in, or it's going to be hard to play for me. And I think both of them have the confidence and the grit and the mentality to understand that. And that's why I was happy Chauncey was 2. I would much rather Chauncey be 2 for 10 than 2 for 7. Like, shoot the next 3, shoot the next 5 if they're good looks and they're created. And in the first half, and not just him, across the board, I felt like we were on our heels a little bit.
With Jay, he started the game pretty hot, and I think he was 4 for 4 from 3. Is that the kind of thing that, just coming from the teams you've been a coach for, Warriors, Kings and stuff, like, is there a point in the game where you try to draw something up for a guy who seems to be on a heater?
Yeah, at times. I think our offense generally will create good looks, and it doesn't matter who it's for. Like we've tried to build this roster to where when anyone's open, you got to shoot it. Lejay obviously started out hot, and there were a few times we drew things up for him. There were a few times we called things for him. But I think the ball, like, I don't want to talk about like basketball guys, but the ball has gravity, and it usually finds, if you have a selfless team, usually it finds the players that are rolling. And it's just now, it's the same thing with Golden State. When Steph or KD or any of those guys got going, the ball, because players are smart and they have brains, the ball generally found them. And if it doesn't, that's where I got to step in as a coach and draw some things up. But I thought Lejay had an unbelievable game, and he and Rob and all of our seniors, even Steen had 6 offensive rebounds. Like, they're showing that they can play at a really high level, and a lot of these guys are coming from the mid-major level with the chip on their shoulder, and I love what they're doing.
It's only a handful of games. I know you kind of sample size them all, but it was Chauncey and Rob in game 1. It was Lejay, Kobe, even Martin in game 2. I guess you coming into the year without kind of that 1 or 2 guy. I guess how much do you think this is going to be it could be anyone's night's team, and how hard could that be for other teams maybe have to prepare for it? Kind of the if then of focusing on this guy, what is up for this guy, that kind of thing.
Yes, it's 1,000% by design. I think our group of seniors are the backbone of the team, but we got some younger guys with a lot of talent. You know, you look at Martin tonight, Thomas Basson, Cam out. Like, these kids are good, you know, and they're talented, and the most impressive thing is they're confident for young guys. But it wouldn't surprise me if every single game we had a different leading scorer. Because of the way we can shoot it, and because of the way we attack, and because of the way the ball moves. I would not at all be surprised if you know, next game is someone different, the game after that someone different. That's the way the team operates. And I know from experience, these are the teams that are, like you said, toughest to scout against. When you have one main guy that you just got to shut down, and if you do that, you're going to win. I'm not saying those games are easy, because those kids are usually really talented, but it's an easier game plan. When you have 5, 6, 7 guys on any given night that can lead you in scoring, that's a tough scout.
You spoke since your arrival about wanting to play the best, especially non-conference. How much are you looking forward to Tuesday, taking this group on the road and going to UF?
Yeah, I haven't thought about it a ton. I was actually texting with Todd Golden last night. We knew each other so he was an assistant at University of San Francisco, and then became the head coach when I was coaching with Golden State. So our wives actually got together first, got to know each other, and then we got to know each other just from running the same circles and both being coaches in town. And I was just texting him after his win last night, and you know, he said they're already on to watching film that night on us, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to playing the reigning national title team, and they're talented, and they're big, and they're strong, and they're physical, and Todd's a really good coach, and so it's a great test for us. We've got 2 under our belt now, and to face one of the best teams in America. Hopefully this is why our guys sign up to come to Florida State, because I know I'm super excited about it.
Not only the defending national champions, but also the University of Florida Gators. You've talked a lot about how you grew up a Seminole fan, but most of the guys on this team not only knew the team, they're new to the state, maybe.
Right.
Is there anything that you think you'll have to do to maybe impress upon them the importance that this game is to the fan base, that the rivalry that they're about to walk into in the O-Conference?
No. To be honest, and I know college is all about rivalries, and obviously being a Florida State guy, you want to kick Florida's behind, you want to kick Miami's behind, and that's natural. To me, every game is a Super Bowl. Every practice is a Super Bowl. Every drill is a Super Bowl. Every possession is a Super Bowl. If you can't get up for a college basketball game, doesn't matter who you play, you got problems, and you're probably not going to play well for me. And so I want our guys to compete regardless of the opponent, like it's the biggest game of their life. And so far we're not there yet, but so far I really, really like our guys' competitive nature. They believe in what we're doing. They believe in their individual talents, and they believe in what we can do collectively. So whether it's Florida or the next opponent, we're going to treat every game the same way.
You've emphasized increasing student involvement and attendance. How pleased were you with the environment tonight?
Yeah, I think it's getting better, and I think it'll continue to get better. I think winning is the ultimate band-aid for all problems, and the more we win, the more people are going to want to come support us. I also think we have some of the most passionate fans in all of college sports, and when they come in here and cheer for us, this can be one of the best home environments in America. And so I want to see that at a higher level. I thought tonight was a better showing than game one, and I hope that continues to improve.
After 2 games, do you have a feel for, is this, not saying where you want to be, but like, does this give you a good barometer of what you need to work on in short order?
Yeah, but we're definitely not where I want to be.
Right.
And if I said I was, you guys should get rid of me right now. I don't think any coach is ever comfortable completely with their team, but I do have a lot of faith in the direction we're going. To put up back-to-back 100 points, regardless of the opponent, is tough. Chuck told me on the walkover that we broke the school record for 3-point attempts, and third in 3-point makes. And not that that's our ultimate goal, but it shows that the guys believe in our system and are trying their best to execute it. I still think we have a lot of room to grow on both sides of the ball. Our offense, to me, is going to be lethal all year. Our defense, we're going to have to win some tight games by guarding better. And tonight, especially in the second half, our defense took a step in the right direction. I really liked our aggressiveness, but also when you need to keep it simple and just keep the guy in front of you, thought they did a lot better job in the second half. I think we're going to be able to score with anyone in the country, but our defense needs to continue to improve, and we knew that as a staff, and our players know that. To compete with the big boys, you got to sit down and guard.
The press release said that AJ is going to be out indefinitely. Is there anything you can share on his situation?
Yeah, no. The thing with AJ, and AJ knows this. We have rules, like everyone has rules. We have a standard of the way we want to operate. And regardless of whether it's AJ or anyone on the roster, when you fall short of that, there's going to be consequences. So he's suspended right now, and hopefully he'll be back soon, but he's got to earn that. He's got to earn his teammates' trust, our coaches' trust that he can operate at the standard of which we want to operate. And as soon as he proves that he can, he'll be back on the team and hopefully helping us win games.
So you said that every game is your Super Bowl. Are you treating this Florida game as a litmus test of sorts, though?
Yeah, we played Alabama in the preseason, so at least from a coaching perspective, I know it's a preseason game, but I know what it feels like to play against a great opponent and a great coach. And that was by design. I didn't want to play 2 cupcakes in the preseason and then show up and your first big game is on the road at Florida. I think all these games, whether it's Florida or Houston or Texas A&M or Georgia, or any of these opponents we're playing in the non-conference, that are big-time programs that are proven winners and that have massive NIL budgets to put their teams together, I think is a great test, not only for us as a program, but also for where we want to be. Florida is where we want to be, reigning national titles, and so I'm amped for the game. I know our players are too, but that's going to go for every game.